You know that in the garden there were 2 trees, right? God said that one tree they should not eat of. But, I mean, there was more trees, don't hear me wrong, but there were 2 trees that, specifically that we want to talk about. The one tree was called the tree of life. And the other tree was called the tree of the knowledge of good. Right? See, every time I teach this, someone's going, and evil, and evil. Because, you know why? Because you always thought of that tree as evil.
You automatically think it's a good tree and the evil tree.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Amen.
Right?
So if you keep that and evil off, and you start looking at what's the difference in the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good.
See, when you're trying to figure everything out, you're in the wrong tree.
But listen, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil is trying to get this without going through this. If we try to make this happen, if we try to make
Say what
fruit,
the this is, Jake, so that we can be clear on what it is.
if we try to make fruit happen in the hill of the Lord with power and authority, without going through the throne room and the courtroom, we will emanate a religious demon, a religious spirit.
That will be based on knowledge of good and evil. You'll have arguments, you'll have denominations, you'll have people trying to figure out who's right and who's wrong. You have all kinds of things that do not bring forth life. And we just started, in our team, we start reminding each other, you're in the wrong tree there. Just get out of that tree and let's live life, right? Because when you're in the tree of life, life makes sense. Things come forth and life makes sense. When you're in the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you're trying to figure out who's right and who's wrong.
And the base of this tree is fear. If you're living in fear, your life's not going to work. Base of this tree is faith. If we don't trust God, our life's not going to work.
How many of you wish that Adam and Eve would not have eaten of that fruit? 3 of you. 4. How many of you have wished along the way that Adam and Eve would not have eaten of that fruit? I had. But you know what? Then I found out I'm still eating of that fruit. You know, we can think, well, we wouldn't have done that, but we do. Right? We do. On a regular basis, we find ourselves eating of that wrong tree that God said, do not eat of it.
If you are afraid, or you worry that you're not hearing God right, you're in it. Because the words was, hath God really said?
How many of you have heard that voice?
How many people,
Has God really said?
how many people go through their life trying to figure out if that voice was God or not?
Amen.
That seed of doubt will keep you from stepping out.
It's a seed of wonder. Because
If you believe it was God, step out and do it. If it was the devil, God will take care of it. If you're afraid that it might be the devil, then you don't do it. That's disobedience. Key word was afraid. If you're afraid that you're hearing God wrong, you're in the wrong tree. Because it's fear. And you will reap the harvest of fear.
In this tree of faith, it's not wrong to ask God for confirmation. But there's a difference in wanting a confirmation or in using fear to try to discern. When you use fear to try to discern something, you're always going to come up with the wrong answer. Because fear is not from God's kingdom.
And then you have intellectual arguments because that's what this is.